tell us a little bit of the genesis story of Exonic Insurance. It'd be great to hear a bit more about that.
As you said, there are many flavors of private credit, and making the press recently was the Blue Owl Meta deal, $27 billion 148 transaction, which I think goes to show you that the larger private credit shops are looking for larger chunks because, frankly, private credit spreads have tightened quite a bit. And while you can still get in middle market lending a reasonable spread, in the larger transactions, it's very tough. And so what we've chosen to do at Exonic is try to tailor our private credit offering to market need. As everyone on this panel certainly knows, regional banks have largely exited certain parts of the lending market after the mini crisis, if you will, that occurred at the end of 2022 and early 2023. And so we've stepped into several, I call them buckets. That we have a middle market asset-backed lending business. We have a specialty lending business, which is a bridge financing business of the monetization of IP assets, for example. And I think a particularly interesting and attractive business, which we called our private investment liquidity solutions business, which are loans we make from, let's call it, $5 to $50 million to wealthy individuals that have investments in private equity funds. As we all know, the DPI ratio, that is distributions to paid-in capital ratio, has fallen quite a bit. If you look at the 2018 vintage of private equity funds, that ratio is at about 0.6, down from about 0.8, meaning that private equity funds are taking longer and longer to make distributions. And so one of the areas of opportunity we see that doesn't compete with the larger private equity allocators of capital is to provide bridge loans for those individuals looking for liquidity prior to the final distribution. And I think with that, maybe I'll tee up my colleague, Alexa here. In addition, Exonic has been fortunate to build an organic insurance business over the past 3 years. It was just in the press recently. We received a $210 million private equity investment from a well-known PE shop. And our insurance business is writing annuities at about $200 to $300 million a month. So AUM for that business is growing. We're retaining a lot of that capital. And Alexa is part of the team that absorbs, if you will, or cuts up the meat that my team is serving up in private credit.